and welcome to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm Mason Smith here tonight with Isaac Warmwood. There we go. Amalia Smith, Tom Albert, Kevin Murphy, and Connor Mabius, all the rest of the FCAT crew. We're getting underway in just a few minutes here, folks. It's our opening coverage of boys soccer. Your Frontier Red Hawks against the South Hadley Tigers. Two great teams going head-to-head. South Hadley had a pretty good start to their season so far this year. They are 2-0-1. I'm pretty sure that means they had one tie, not one loss. Otherwise, they wouldn't have the 0 in the middle of that. And Frontier, undefeated so far, 3-0. And they have only let up a single goal this season, Isaac. It's looking great for them, despite one of the biggest losses of any sports team at Frontier we've seen so far. 10 seniors they lost last year.
Wow, that is crazy.
And now we're going down onto the field for the starting lineups and the national anthem.
Good evening and welcome to Frontier Regional for tonight's game between the Tigers of South Hadley and the Red Hawks of Frontier. Tonight's starting lineup for the Tigers is number 14, Jack Shagden. Number 10, Carlos David. Number 2, Jackson Keller. Number 4, Anthony Adams. Number 9, Matt Gillis. Number 12, Ethan Markham. Number 17, Ari Alato. Number 15, Brady Graham. Number 1, Noah Carillon. Number 8, Spencer Parsons. Number 13, Nolan Massey. And the Tigers are coached by Mike Gauthier. And now, the starting lineup for your Frontier Red Hawks. Number 4, Ben Cachuongo. Number 9, TJ Donovan. Number 7, Will Redding. Number 5, Tavo Vincent Warner. Number 6, Max Millette. Number 8, Gus Radner. Number 11, Ian Pachurik. Number 17, Eric Larson. Number 3, Diego Frazier. Number 15, Casey Bessler. And number 1, Jack Cusson. The Red Hawks are coached by Evan Horton and Matt Zarotny. At this time, we ask everybody to please rise and remove your hat for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, and here we go. Teams in the pregame huddle now. And as we were saying, it's probably going to be one of the tougher matches for the Hawks in terms of the teams that are in their conference right now, Isaac. Yeah. Some on the team have told me that South Hadley is their biggest competitors within their conference, but they're confident going into this. They think that they're going to win, and so far this season, the evidence is backing them up.
That's what you need. Confidence is key in a game of soccer, not football. Soccer.
In America, it's soccer, but I think it's only because we have another sport called football. And we talked a little bit about this.
We did, yes.
Because in Ireland, they also call it soccer. Not all the time.
Football.
They have Gaelic football. And same thing in Australia, because they have Australian football. And a lot of people here in America don't know about those sports because, of course, they're much more interested in American football. Right. And rightfully so. But
it dominates it.
So we're working with 2 halves, no quarters here on the soccer pitch. And it's 40 minutes, give or take a few. The refs will be keeping track of time on the field. And for your reference at home, the white lines are not out of bounds. The blue lines are, even though they're a little bit faint in some places.
Right.
So the Hawks won the toss, it looks like, and they will be starting off with the ball. Waiting for the ref's whistle now.
Yep, and there it goes.
Pass back from Pachurik, and we are underway.
Oh, long pass. That was a good pass.
Yeah, Millette sends it down, and now it's pinballed around a little bit, brought down by the chest of Will Redding. And now Diego Frazier up to a player that we're probably going to be talking about a little bit, Casey Bestler. He is a new transfer for the Hawks. He came from Charlemont and is only a sophomore, got onto varsity right away, and has been quite the topic of conversation for a little while. But now on the field, midfielder Will Redding gets by a body right there, leaves it hanging for Radner, and now that's Tavo Vincent Warner. Oh. And a great save made by Noah Carolon.
That was close. He could have got it, but that's a good goalkeeper. He really went for the ball, and that's what you want to see.
Absolutely, and you're seeing in Vincent Warner there the remnants of his position last year, which was he was kind of he flip-flopped from a defenseman to a forward, and he's a defenseman right now, set as a defenseman for this year, but he ran all the way down the field and put a good challenge against the goalie there.
Yeah.
But now our main strikers, as they call it in England, I guess here too.
Strikers.
For the Hawks are TJ Donovan and Ian Pachurik, 2 captains on the team. The other 2 captains are defensemen Diego Frazier and Ben Kachuwango, wearing the numbers 3 and 4 respectively.
It's a throw-in now from the Red Hawks. It's a pretty good throw-in, I can't lie.
Right into the box. Header goes a little astray, and another good cover-up from Carolon.
It's a good catch by the goalkeeper, a good dive.
He's on top of his game right now. He doesn't want to let anything in early. And I mean, you never do. But there's Bestler with a header. And Radner is there to pick it up. Alatolo.
Lots of headers going on.
That's what I like to call pinball. There's it barely touches the ground, and they're just moving it forward or backward all over the place, really, with their head. There's no clear direction because, I mean, you can't control it with your head, but it's difficult. Oh, and a nice pass forward. Pachurik has a chance. Pulled it right.
Was so close. He had it in mind. He was ready to take it, but just a little too far off.
And let's take a moment to appreciate that wonderful through pass. I mean, just beautifully placed right in front of him, and all he had to do was keep running right into it, and had an amazing chance. I mean, won't go down as a shot on target, but this is why, you have the Hawks being such a dominant team so far in this season.
Yeah.
You have this veteran defensive line with seniors Tavo, Vincent Warner, and you got Ben Kachuwango back there. Diego Frazier also been on the team for a very long time, even though he's a junior. And Bestler, he's one of their center backs right now, has had a lot. I mean, like I was saying, big topic of conversation. He's gotten a lot of praise on the team, and also from people that have just come to see the games. So a really solid defensive line that's helping to make those offensive opportunities possible, and a lot of physical contact out there so far, Isaac. Free kick is going to go the Hawks' way, and Frazier drills it down the line, wins it on a challenge, and now up past midfield. With the ball is Pachurik up to Eric Larson. Larson looks to pass back, getting double teamed, and will get it forward, a back heel from Radner, and that is cleared out by the Tigers defense. Cachuango is there to stop it, and
that was a dangerously short pass.
Off balance, it looked like. And a good header from Donovan. Might have had Pachurik in a good opportunity, but another good clear from number 4 on defense, Anthony Adams, the junior for the Tigers. Is going to shut that down. Back to Bessler, and that will go over the bench of the Tigers and not quite into the stands.
Almost.
Vincent Warner over the head of Pachurik. Donovan almost gets there, but Adams is holding his ground. The pass forward not going to be there.
That jump made by Donovan was crazy. Did you see that? He went with his body and everything.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about a lot of reasons why this Redhawks team has come out so strong. Their biggest win on the season so far was against Mahar, 8-0, and they've only let up 1 goal in 3 games that they've played so far. The closest game that they had was still a shutout, but now this is a great chance for them to maybe strike first. Gus Radner going to take a corner, chips it in, and not going to find anyone. Larson through the field goal posts. A
Only
good
if
chance.
This was football.
Well, some would say it is. I mean,
true.
I
would say it was.
Yeah, I was going to say, you might say it is. But I don't know about how many people in the stands right now, of which there are quite a few.
Yeah, we've got a large crowd today.
Despite this not being American football, there's been quite a bit of interest in this boys soccer team. They had a great run last year. They lost in the Western Mass Finals in overtime. Just a real nail-biter. It was incredibly intense, and they were knocked out in the round of 16 of states. The big test, as we had said once before earlier for this team, is that they lost 10 seniors.
Wow.
Most of which, I believe 8 of which, were on the regular starting 11 for the Hawks.
That's really bad.
I mean, devastating loss, but it hasn't seemed to shake this team at all. Obviously, they had depth in JV, and just some great players that are still able to put a great ball forward like Diego Frazier does. Few headers, and it will get cleared out off of the chest. Oh, my.
That was a long kick.
If he'd been able to get on top of that a little bit, he'd be able to just one bounce that into the goal. That was, I mean,
that would have been great.
That is a great opportunity. That's the kind of volley you love to see.
Also, this is somewhat interesting. You don't really tend to see a defender doing the goalkeeper kick. It's usually the goalkeeper, but this is interesting. I mean, I guess sometimes defenders have stronger kicks. Like you look at some of the defenders.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is there a particular reason why you might see that?
Well, usually sometimes defenders in the bigger teams, obviously, like professional, they have strong kicks because that's what they do. It has to be strong to be in the defense.
Yeah. But, tough break there on the Tigers, and that's just kind of giving him some energy. Now here he goes. Centering pass. It goes a little too far. Can Larson get there? Dancing back and forth. Tigers still on offense. And that was good. Carlos David. The ball goes out of bounds. Will be a goal kick. And that on offense there was Matt Gillis. He got hit in the face by that ball. It was a deflected header.
Back up.
Yeah.
Look at him.
And he just, got right back up.
Yeah.
And now he can take a second as Jack Cusson kicks the ball down the field. He is in goal tonight. Last year he was our backup goalie, starter on JV, but now he's going to be our starter as a freshman. And this is big, mostly because of the loss of who would have been in goal, Owen Babb, who now is going to DA. And another great through pass. Pachurik, it goes wide!
So close.
And another great stand from Noah Carlin. I mean, he's been proving himself so far in the around 10 minutes. We're getting close to 10 minutes now of game time that we've seen, he's had to make, I'd say, 3-4 pretty good saves.
Yeah.
Pretty talented saves. And Cusson has been able to sit back and relax because of this veteran defensive line that we've been talking about. Our photographer getting out of the way of that stray ball. And Tigers trying to figure out who wants to take this throw in.
Frontier really making it past the defense, really trying to get a shot onto that goal.
Yeah.
But I think the Tigers kind of shook Frontier up because that one, when the guy got hit in the face, he just ran straight down, straight for the defense. That was dangerous. That was risky. Yeah,
Matt Gillis. I mean, he's one of their strikers, one of their 3 strikers, it looks like, and he obviously is posing a threat right now, especially with that run we saw him go through earlier, and now the throw-in on the offensive side of things, covered by Cachuongo, and now it's going to go out of bounds. Will be a goal kick for the Hawks, and Cachuongo gets a 5 from his teammate and fellow center back Diego Frazier. 30 minutes on the clock for the first half, and no score. I mean, I'd say that's typical of soccer.
This is soccer.
But, you might expect the Hawks to be scoring soon and scoring fast with some of the results that you've seen in their previous games. The lowest scoring game they had was 2-0 in their first game against Chicopee Comp, which is still a win.
Yeah, they still won it.
Yeah, that was also their closest game, only 2 goals, but still a shutout. Header not there for Frazier, and Cachuongo lays his body on the line and will get the whistle. Wow. What an incredible job. I mean, that's what makes the difference between getting to be a captain and what doesn't. You see guys out on the field putting their bodies on the line to make plays like that.
Taking it for the team.
Absolutely.
Literally taking it for the team.
Yeah, and that's what Cachuongo did just there, and that's what he's been doing for all the years that he's been on varsity. I think he's had at least 2 other. I think this might be his 3rd year. I don't remember if he was on varsity his junior year. Or, excuse me, his freshman year. And Pachurik tries the pass back. Will be a free kick for the Tigers. I'm not sure what the call was.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that, but
it might have just been a little too physical for the refs.
Yeah, maybe a little too foul. It's no big deal.
And this is something, with the refs. We talk about this every season, but refs have different rhythms. Different refs like to do different things.
Most definitely.
The header goes towards the goal, and down goes number 15 of the Tigers, holding his face. That's Brady Graham. He'll get back up and walk it off, though. Must have had some kind of collision there. And another big collision. Those guys will stay up, though. Pachurik passed back, and now Radner keeps it in play for the Hawks. Bessler sends it forward. Vincent Warner in the face-off, and now the Tigers will slow it down a little bit. Oh, there was a whistle blown.
Yeah.
No, it went out of bounds. That's what it was.
The Redhawks are really on that ball. They're lasered on it. They want to make it through. You can tell.
They're not wasting any time at all either. And that will be. What will that be?
I believe that was.
That'll be a handball call. Yeah. So free kick in a spectacular position.
This is great.
Just outside the box. I mean. Yeah, this is fantastic. Radner going to be taking it as he did the corner. Chips it in, and off a few bodies. Frazier comes in, looking to belt it forward, and he falls on top of it.
Oh, no.
Now it's going to be cleared out. No one really there, and it will roll out of bounds. Hawks throwing.
That was something. That was close to, but just the Tigers' defense. They're pretty good at defense. I've noticed that.
Absolutely. I think that directionally that was a good setup from Radner. I think he wanted to get it up a little bit higher, though, just lofted a little bit.
Ooh.
And a shoulder check from Diego Frazier. That was Max Millett. This is why, we have such a great defensive line. They know what they're doing.
Ooh.
And, that's going to be a penalty called on Cachuongo. And, sometimes you get called for those penalties.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're worth it. You don't want to let that guy have the open shot. So now, great chance on the other side for the Tigers. That is going to be Carlos David taking the kick. He's one of the 3 captains for the Tigers. Sends it straight towards Cusson, and he takes it to the gut.
He's doing pretty good in goal, I have to say.
Absolutely, especially as a freshman.
Right.
it's an impressive job. It really is. I'm sure that we're going to be praising him all night long.
Nice long pass.
Yeah, good pop fly there, and header not there for Donovan. Vincent Warner can't get there either, and now he's running back into his defensive position. The pass forward barely gotten off by the Tigers midfielder. Whistle is blown, and it'll be a free kick. Give the chance for the Redhawks to get in position here. They were kind of caught off balance as a team.
You can see Ben at the back there, Kashigana, really like directing his team around. That's what you want to see from a captain. That's good. That's
absolutely
good leadership.
He knows so much about the game and so much about this strategy, and that pass is going to come up way short of where he wanted it to be. Did not get the air underneath it that he was hoping for, and now the Hawks try and clear it out. Donovan almost sends it into an offensive breakthrough. Now Redding whiffs the kick a bit, gets it way up to Donovan, and the Tigers will keep it away from Pachurik. Ball's a little too high for the header. And Radner checking his mirrors and sends it up to Tavo. Pass a little bit too far behind him.
Yeah.
That was tough. He wanted to go up the middle, it looked like. He was looking over there, and it's just too many Tigers in the lane.
They're everywhere. It's kind of risky, though, sometimes, because if you have, your entire team on one side of the pitch, then obviously, there's an open side, and you never know, because they can be quick. We're seeing how quick Frontier's going about, how quick the Tigers going about. They're fast, so absolutely be careful.
And so much of the strategy in terms of, big strategic point of soccer is correct and efficient passing. Just like that.
Yeah,
Look at that. You pull the defense
to
one side, and then you exploit the open space that's left behind. Pachurik getting his way into the box, and he can't.
Wow.
Just didn't get it under control.
That footwork was amazing, the way he dribbled straight past that defense. Even though he didn't make it, that was still very impressive by him.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to the defender there. I didn't catch his number, but, just laying your body against him a little bit. Obviously, not enough for a foul call, but just that right amount of physicality to knock them off of balance, off of their game, and, eventually potentially save a goal, right?
Yeah.
Headers back and forth, Bessler again.
Bessler's doing very well on the team. And it's nice. You can see Frontier, they have a great chemistry together.
Absolutely.
And despite the fact that Bessler, he's kind of new to the team, the chemistry still stands. These
100%.
players are great.
Yeah, and I think he's been able to bond really well with his fellow center backs on the defensive line. It's just he's gotten so comfortable back there.
Yeah.
And we missed it on the play call, but a beautiful feed forward from TJ Donovan to Will Redding. Didn't amount to anything, but that was wonderfully played. It had a nice little spin on it, so it didn't go out of bounds.
Yeah.
But
header into openness.
Now Donovan trying to find an open side of the field, and Redding there again. Sends it way forward, won't get there in time, and it'll be cleared out of bounds for a corner kick.
Yeah.
Hawks again with an opportunity. And in field hockey, they say every corner is a goal. Not the case for soccer, obviously. I feel
it's a good chance, but
And Donovan holding his hands up right in front of the goal, getting pushed and shoved around a little bit. I'm not familiar with that strategy. You could tell me about that right after we see this kick. Radner with the feet again. Gets plenty of air this time. A little bit too far, though.
Long.
And it's the back of a defender. Will be a Hawks throw-in or not.
It came off the back of the Hawks. I believe that might have been number 12.
That's Carter Miller, I think. But so, Isaac, tell me, what might be the strategy there for standing in front of the goal, having your arms up like that, the way that Donovan
So
did?
the arms up, that's just to show that you're not actually pushing or fouling the player.
Yeah.
But also just to get in the way of the goalkeeper as well. This way, it's kind of frowned upon, but it can help, covering up. So, usually the hands up just so the ref sees that you're not actually fouling the goalkeeper.
Absolutely. Okay. See, from I don't watch as much soccer as you do, obviously. I know a lot more about hockey, for example, and that's something that they do a lot and is not as frowned upon in hockey. That's just part of the game. You have a guy that's called a screen right in front of the goalie, and you have him regularly on offense. And there on the field, Will Redding is blocked by two Tigers, but now he gets the ball back from Eric Larson. Beautiful feed forward.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's going to be sent forward and roll out of bounds.
Despite the fact there were 3 defenders on Will Redding, he still managed to get it past all 3 of them. They did catch it at the end, but still, that's great.
No, but it went out of bounds, and the reason why Carolon was going for the ball was because he knew that it touched off his teammate. Now Radnor has another opportunity at a corner, and here it comes. Gets the air again. Great placement, and Cachuongo just a little bit too far forward. Would have been a beautiful header into the goal, but now Miller having to race back, and he doesn't have to worry about anything as the ball goes out of bounds. Got away from Ari Alatalo, excuse me.
And that is
definitely sent into the stands. Almost hits Jackson Spearance in the head.
Look who it is.
And there's our old goalkeeper in the stands tonight. It's Owen Babb. A few other guys from DA I might mention as well. Owen Babb, just incredible goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah.
We obviously, wish him all the best at DA. I heard he's playing goalie there as well this season.
There you go.
He's, no doubt bringing plenty of good fortune to that team as he did here at Frontier. But Jack Cusson doing a wonderful job in his stead, although not having a lot of action right now, which is good.
That's a good thing, though. Yeah.
Very good thing.
But from what we've seen, I say he's holding up pretty well, honestly. He's doing pretty well.
Yeah, because, you can get goalies that just don't have a lot of action, and the one time they do, they let up a goal because it's the nerves. You're finally facing something.
Exactly.
That sort of thing. But he hasn't shown that at all. And now on the sideline waiting to come in is Grayson Bishop for the Hawks. And Frazier with a good body there and a great move. Look at this. Ian Pachurik speeding down the field. Ian Pachurik taking the left side. Is he going to beat the defender? Oh, and a beautiful challenge.
That was
Come on.
Slide tackle by the defender there. That was amazing.
Anthony Adams with a beautiful play in the box to save a goal.
And Ian, he was closer. He was racing down that pitch. He had his eyes on the target. He was ready to kill. But, that defender, that slide tackle was pretty clean. It's pretty risky doing slide tackles, too, because it can be an easy foul. But
especially in the box, that would have been a penalty kick. Now, Will Redding coming off of the field. Opening in front of the goal and headed out of the way by Adams, I think it was. And Radnor keeps it in play. What a nice touch. Back heel, and it's going to end up with Carter Miller. Tries the center, too far ahead for Donovan. And the header back to Donovan. Great defense in the box by the Tigers, and they finally clear it out. Bestler can't stop it, and now pass back will find its way to Bestler. The Hawks turn it back over, and now Radnor, will get called for a foul, pulling down number 17. That's Ari Alatalo. And I'm not sure if he just gave him a card. There was a bit of commotion here, and I looked away at my roster for a second. Never mind. That's what the commotion is. It's not a penalty against Radnor.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that that would be a free kick in favor of Frontier. But
Millette signaling to Radnor. He sends it into the pack. Header loose. Miller can't complete the follow-through, and Larson will kick it back out to Radnor. Hawks reset. Winding up he wanted to take a shot there, but now Miller works his way into the corner. Double team, keeps it in play. Wonderful job.
Almost.
And now Eric Larson will reset for the Hawks. Defense scrambling, and now Hawks take a breath to throw off the strikers. And now pass forward. Millette. Back to Radnor. He's dancing on the sideline, and that will get away from the Hawks. Stay inbounds. Bestler looks to cross. First it's the center, Frazier. And now Millette finally finds its way to the other side with Grayson Bishop, who just checked in. Pass forward is lofted, and that will be sent over the goal and just short of the field goal post.
It's a long volley kick by, who was that? Was that Redding or?
I think that was Bishop.
Bishop.
I didn't quite catch who it was, though.
And we have two Tigers who just subbed. We've got some new substitutions on here. I didn't catch it. I believe it was 15 and 19.
Number 19 is Ben Gillis. So it looks like we're going to have the Gillis brothers not on the field. Number 9 just came off. That's Matt Gillis, who had that great run before, almost scored a goal. And Brady Graham is number 15, who evidently coming back from being on the bench for a little bit. He was one of their starters to come on the field. Frazier, pass forward to Bishop. He tries the center, and it's a little bit too far forward for Radnor.
Great pass back. That was a beautiful pass by the Tigers.
But Bestler could not quite get there in time. Now a bit of an opportunity for the Tigers. They just need to give themselves a bit of room to work with, which all starts at this midfield line, Isaac. finding that space and giving yourself room to move around the defense and create those passing lanes.
Exactly.
And you can do that. I mean, you can do that with efficient passing. You can do that. It looks like we're having a
quick
timeout,
yes.
water break that's being called. And as I was saying, you can do that with passing. You can do that with formation. And we're going to talk a little bit about formation when we come back from this short break. 0-0 is the score. 16:37 on the clock for the first half. We will be right back. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm Mason Smith here with Isaac Wormgore and all the rest of the FCAT crew. We're coming back from a water break, timeout of sorts. I'm not sure exactly what they would call it. And with a sudden offensive push here is the Tigers' body immediately hits the ground. There's no whistle called there, and I'd be having the same reaction as number 15 there, Brady Graham, who just got thrown to the ground by Max Millette. I mean, I'm not sure why a penalty wasn't called there. That was pretty clear. But the Hawks now turning things around, and a few subs have come on for the Hawks as well on the offensive side of things. Henry Pleasant and Graydon Gifford are the two strikers right now for the Hawks, giving Ian Pachurik and TJ Donovan a bit of a breather. And now, as the ball goes out of bounds, a few subs come in for the Tigers. I was just going to talk a little bit and just inform us as a Brit. What is, the part of the strategy of this game with the correct, I say in air quotes, formation that you can have?
So, I mean, there's really no correct formation. Loads of formations work out amazingly. What I saw Frontier having is kind of a standard formation you see here, like you can see here right now. Now the team ran up, but yeah, so they have a standard formation. I can't really tell what the Tigers, I can't tell what their formation is.
I think we might be able to tell, especially like start of the second half when we have kickoff from the middle of the pitch. We'd be able to tell because they're all set up there. But and a body hits the floor. Now Pleasant scores! Oh, what? No, it hit the post.
Was that a line? Let's see what the refs say, because that might went through the line.
I don't know. It's gonna be. I don't know what the call is.
I'm watching this scoreboard right now.
I'm looking at the ref too. It looks like it is not gonna stand as a goal. It hit the post.
God.
It hit the far post, and it looked like it was gonna go in. Pleasant robbed of a goal. Oh my God.
Wow, that was dangerous. The Tigers really have to go watch themselves now, because that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's how fast this team can get you. And look at these beautiful passes right on the sideline. Ball pops up and will hit the arm of Carter Miller. Will be a free kick right on the sideline for the Tigers. That'll be taken by number 4, Anthony Adams, who's had some fantastic defensive plays so far.
He's been saving multiple saves or shots from the Frontier team.
Potential goals just being taken off of the scoreboard for the Hawks.
Indeed.
Radner gets tripped up and goes down, no whistle.
This is a very rough game today.
Yeah, absolutely. Just very physical. And now Pleasant turning on the Jets. The pass back to Carillon, and he will send it forward. And that's out of bounds, it looks like.
See, this is something people don't really understand about soccer, is that it can be a pretty rough game. Despite the fact there's no actual, like football where you're supposed to tackle people.
Yeah.
It still happens every day.
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
we can see here, people
there's
get bodied.
Yeah, there's definitely, worse injuries happen in American football,
obviously.
I'd say, more frequently. Because,
frequently.
you get some rarity that happens in every sport, right?
Right.
But with soccer, yeah, it really can happen at any moment. Guys pushing themselves to their limit. And
the fans are getting rowdy. You hear that? That
yeah,
is amazing. That's what we want to hear.
Exactly. That's what we love. And, we were saying before, Americans don't really do this with their general sports teams and also with their soccer teams. But a lot of British, in the Premier League and whatnot, they have some pretty awesome chants.
Yeah.
And we were saying how awesome it would be if Frontier could come up with one. But, I guess we'll keep dreaming.
Yeah.
Carillon will clear off the pass back. Bestler there again for the header.
He's been always intercepting those passes.
I guess it's just because the goalie's dominant foot, it's going a little bit to his side of the field. Pretty much straight on, but the wind will take it if it has that spin on it.
Yeah.
Right? 12 minutes to go, give or take a few, with stoppage time. For this first half. And the way that works, by the way, folks, is we will get down to 2 minutes on the clock and it will stop. And the refs are keeping track of time on their little watches on the field, and they blow the whistle when they decide to, basically, when they've added whatever amount of stoppage time they want to. And so once it gets to 2 minutes, we won't be able to tell you how much time there is in the half. And in the second half, we won't be able to tell you exactly when the game ends until we hear the whistle blow. That pass forward will go a little bit too fast for anyone to catch up with for the Hawks, and Carillon covers it up.
Straight through the Tigers' defense there, and caught by the Tigers' goalkeeper, who's doing a pretty good job.
Oh, yeah. And now he's going to take that kick himself. Doesn't seem very comfortable with the goal kicks, as we had talked about before.
Yeah.
And that ball does not go over the fence. I thought it was going to leave the track entirely. And that throw is going to have to be redone. He was a little bit too far ahead of himself. So plenty of starters taking a seat on the bench right now for the Hawks, just having a breath, making sure that they don't push themselves too much before this second half. We're likely to see them again before the end of the first half, I'd say, just for a little burst of energy right before halftime. But I like, this is why we've had Evan Horton as our coach for such a long time.
He does a good job.
He knows what he likes to do, and he knows how to do it well. And a beautiful header off balance from Cachuango, and then he clears it. Look at this
slice of a kick right there, going straight out.
And that's a beautiful. Oh my God! Look at that.
Reminding me of tennis, going back and forth.
Yeah.
These lovely, nice passes going back and forth the pitch.
It's a great volley, and now Cachuango gets his arm yanked, and that will be a penalty against the Tigers. Now here we go again. This is exactly what I was saying. Now Gifford coming off, Pleasant coming off, and Bishop coming off. Coming back on is Donovan, Pachurik, and Redding.
Yes.
3 on, 3 off, and there's no set limit for substitutions, I believe.
No, there isn't, no.
And a pass forward right off the bat to Donovan, fresh off the bench, working his way, and almost gets to it.
So close. He was on that ball. He was ready to take it. And he takes on us.
And now there's going to be no call against the striker from the Tigers, who just pushed Cachuango down onto the ground. He's going to receive a few choice words from Diego Frazier.
And it's going to be a throw-in now from the Tigers. Let's see.
Yeah.
The game's getting more tense. I can feel it now.
Absolutely. You have something as close as this, 0-0 for this long. And that call is going to go the Tigers' way. Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't quite catch what it was. Just a free kick, but.
Yeah. Whoever scores first, Isaac, is going to have the upper hand for this whole game. That's what it's going to come down to. And, oh, look at this. The Red Hawk is out.
There he is.
The Red Hawk is out on the track, and he's getting a few cheers from the students. Beautiful loft in to the box and cleared out by Redding. Wonderfully done. And now Millette lays the body down and moved the ball past midfield.
bringing it up the pitch now. Great defense by number 10 on the Tigers team.
And Cachuongo with another great moment against number 11. That's Moki Kovacs. He was the one that shoved Cachuongo down a few minutes ago. And the Red Hawk is hyping up the fans a little bit.
That's what we need to see, because
absolutely,
once the fans get excited, that encourages the team. They hear that, and that's what makes them go.
Oh yeah, it's the whole environment, and now maybe a chance for the Tigers. Frazier gets called for something, and now the ref will separate Frazier and Kovacs.
Little fight.
And that'll be a few shoves of payback for Kovacs from what he did for Cachuongo. We've got a bit of a rivalry brewing in the backfield here, Isaac.
Yeah.
If I was to say there's ever a time for this, it's now, because we're going into halftime and things are going to cool down a little bit during that. That was
a great header.
That was amazing, yeah. And Miller doing a great job. Look at that. Won over by the Tigers, though. And now Will Redding.
Trying to make it through the defense.
And a nice shot. Look at that. Sent downfield, and it'll be caught up by Carolon.
That was a great shot, though. The way he just spun around like that and launched it up the field, but just intercepted by the goalkeeper.
Yeah. And a good last-ditch effort, too. He was surrounded, didn't see any clear passes. And that's a great move to be able to pull off. Bessler, once again, making a great stand on his side of the field. And the ball will not stay in bounds, will be Tigers throw-in. 7 minutes on the clock.
And let's see where he's going to throw it in. He's looking for a nice open space. I mean, he has a good choice of just throwing it to the defense, the back, so they can just launch it straight forwards, and then the Tigers can just advance straight towards the goal. But it looks like he's going as far forward as possible, which, as you can see, is not always the best idea as a Frazier team.
Frazier can't quite clear it. Also, Kovacs is going to take a seat on the bench after getting his temper a little bit too high. Nice header forward from Pachurik. Donovan trying to win it. He won't have enough of an angle there, though. Cachuongo cuts forward. A little bit ahead of himself, though, has to run back. Now the Tigers might have an opportunity. The through pass shut down by Casey Bestler.
Look at that. This is some great teamwork here. They were all working together, coordinated together, and they got it. They got the ball, and they still have it now.
That's Millette with it. Oh, and a beautiful takeaway. Look at that.
That tackle was crazy.
Wonderful move from the captain, Carlos David Bestler, off of the face of number 14. David breaks it down, and now cleared out by the Tigers. Frazier stops it, and Larson almost laid off of it for Redding, but he got there in time. Pass back to Millette. Fakes the feed forward, and now he sends a rocket above the goal. The Hawks are wanting to score before halftime, Isaac. They don't want to go. They don't want to encourage the Tigers.
They don't want to wait. They want to make it, in as soon as possible, because that's safe. I can't it's safe when that happens.
Yeah, we came into this talking about the score that the Red Hawks have been able to put up in every other game. The closest game they had was a difference of 2 goals, and that's what they were expecting to have coming into this game. They're expecting a victory, but they know it's not going to be easy. They're willing to put in the work. Each of these guys has a switch, and it flips on when it's game day. And that's, you saw them in warm-ups. It's just, they're intense. And they came to win, and they came to put their best effort out on the field, which is what Will Redding's doing right now, getting past 3, now 4 defenders.
Amazing.
Look at this. Will Redding chips it forward.
It's just intercepted,
and he won't get there in time. Radner.
He just misses it.
And Radner taunting the bench a little bit for the Tigers.
He's a little troublemaker. I can't
Radner
lie.
getting waved over by the ref, and he's going to get a talking to.
Yeah.
Explaining himself, saying he didn't really do much. That's getting the fans riled up a little bit.
Yep.
Adams sends it way downfield. Bessler there with the header once again. The chip forward.
I have to say, Bessler's a tall guy, so it's great he's taking these headers and doing them properly. That's probably what he's there for, honestly.
Absolutely, and that's what Cachuongo's there for,
exactly.
too. He's over 6 feet tall, That's for sure. And now the ball gets by Adams, deflected a little bit, and will be passed out of bounds. Pachurik won't quite play the hurry up. Donovan asking for it, but he's surrounded by about 5 Tigers. Good choice by Pachurik to slow it down a little bit. Millette wants the other ball.
It's a common thing to do.
Yeah. And there's the throw in into the box. Great touch from Eric Larson.
Out of bounds again.
Another throw in for the Hawks. Millette will take it. Bounces it on the track to make sure he likes it. And there he goes. He's controlling the chant. He hypes them up. Big windup. There's the big throw in and headed out of the box.
It was close.
That was close. It was a great placement and some great defensive reading from the Tigers. And another throw in for the Hawks. Closing in on 2 minutes left on the scoreboard. So for a little while, we're just not going to be able to tell you how much time is left. Still no score. It's as close as you could hope for it to be. Plenty of tensions on the field and in the stands. Calls going both ways. I'd say that the refs have done a pretty good job managing this game.
Yeah, I have to say they are doing a great job. Also, both teams here, they're very balanced.
Oh, absolutely.
I would say they have somewhat equal possessions. I think Frontier has slightly more possession so far. But
yeah, especially at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
They caught South Hadley a little bit winded there.
But then again, South Hadley, they came back. They came straight past the defense.
And a great touch. Great touch from Radner. And another one.
It's off.
Miller sends it out of bounds and wide right. A couple great touches leading into that sequence, though.
It was a great curve, though. You saw the kick he had there.
Oh,
that
yeah.
curve was amazing. What's happening now? Oh, yeah. So the defender here is taking the goal kick again.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, it's very unusual to see that.
I've seen it a few times. I mean, honestly, the times that I've seen it the most has been in rec soccer.
Yeah.
With a bunch of elementary school kids. Just one kid has the biggest boot on the team, and that's just what you go with.
It's fair enough. Do what you can to get that ball up there.
Larson moving fast on the far side. Slows it down. Now the feed up to Redding. Back pass and goes a little bit too far for Larson. Tigers moving the other way. He's got a man downfield. Racing for it is Frazier. Will get there first and keeps it in bounds and will go out. Will be a goal kick for the Hawks.
Good job.
I mean, this is just wonderful defending.
It is.
Honestly, this is exactly what you're hoping for. This is exactly what you want to see. We've seen barely any chances for the Tigers. Honestly, we've seen them have plenty of action on their side, in their offensive zone, but not really in the box. There's been very little there.
Yes.
And the only times that they've really been in there have been off of free kicks.
Yeah, and this is what you expect, like you said, from a well-seasoned defense team. All these guys here, they're all been on a team for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, most of them, anyways.
Yeah.
That's what you get from it, and great chemistry together as well. It's just impossible to get through them.
It's essential to have this on, that back group of players to support your goalie, because you could have the best keeper in the world in front of that, in the box. It doesn't matter if he's getting no help from his defenders,
right.
And that will be the half.
There it is.
Scoreless after 40.
0-0.
The Hawks with plenty of chances, but the Tigers looking very strong on defense. We'll be here, and we'll see if they can turn it around, if the Hawks can keep pressuring and eventually break through. All they need is one right now, but something tells me it's going to take more than one to close this game out.
Yeah.
We will be back in a few minutes with the second and final half of this very close boys soccer match. Frontier Red Hawks against the South Hadley Tigers, 0-0 at the half. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television.
3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's
It might be skewed a little bit. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. We're trying to figure out the Tigers formation right now.
Yeah.
And there we
Look
go.
at that.
Plenty of support from the parents right now. And Pachurik with a block right off of the kickoff. And, I can't quite get there. But the Hawks turn up the heat right away.
That's what we like to see. This is what we need. This is what the Hawks need. This is their opportunity to shine right now.
Absolutely. And I was talking to the guy who's running the laptop right now in charge of the whole live stream, Tom Albert. I'm sure I'll be covering a few games with him this season. But I was talking with him during the break, folks, and our prediction is, of course, a Hawks victory. But the way it's going to happen is we saw a lot of tempers flaring on the Tigers side of things, and we're expecting that to be their downfall. That is a big misstep from Diego Frazier, and a rare one at that. And the tempers that we were talking about might come from between those two right there, Diego Frazier and Moki Kovacs, who got into a bit of a scuffle before.
Well, a little bit of rivalry. It's always healthy for, a sport like this.
Oh, 100%.
That's what gets it going. That's what gets the foul.
Absolutely.
The crowd rolling.
But when you're in such a tight match like this, you're playing tooth and nail for everything. That is going to be called for a handball. Late whistle. But now the Hawks have a decent position for a free kick that could turn into a nice offensive opportunity. And, I mean, it really should be 1-0 Hawks. We had that ball that just clipped off of the post and didn't go in from Henry Pleasant.
Yeah.
Tough break, and that's going to be Frazier taking the kick, I think. Yeah, Diego Frazier over there. Hawks in formation along the line.
The pass, and how's it going to work?
Oh, it hits the goal. It hits the netting.
If that was a little short.
Crowd got excited for a minute, and it did not go in.
That was a great kick, though.
It was wonderful. I mean, that's something for a highlight reel if it goes in.
Yeah.
From that distance is ridiculous to place it like that.
It's pretty good.
And the ball will go out of bounds on the Tigers. No one touched it. Will Redding tried to get the header there, but didn't get high enough. Millette from the throw-in. And a nice touch over the head of the defender from Donovan. Out of bounds. And Frontier's ball. Millette will take it once again.
The crowd. This is what I love hearing a crowd like this.
This is great. I've never heard this before. It's fantastic. Yeah. Header right outside the box and now cleared out. Bestler makes the stop.
That was a great stop by him.
Play's blown dead. I'm not really sure why, but call made by the far judge.
Huh.
And Pachurik standing his ground a little bit there. Look at that.
Yeah. A little bit of rivalry.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
You never know.
Nice strong kick.
If it's a bad kick, you might take it off the chest and turn it back the other way.
Yeah.
Tigers might have a chance here. Moving on the far side. The strike gets shot down. Bestler, I think, put his body in the way there. And throwing for the Tigers, wasting no time. This is the kind of pace that we saw the Hawks setting in the first half. And, look at that touch. Gus Radner moving along the far side, trying to send it up, and it's deflected out of bounds. Not deflected. He was convinced it was. Look at that.
Wow, but that was impressive, though. That just flipped around quickly. See, this is why I love. This is why I love soccer so much. It can just switch so quick, kind of like basketball in a way.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, field's much bigger, obviously, but these guys are so fast. They can make something happen so quickly. It is a great comparison. You can have a fast break at any second. One misstep in a pass and your defenders, and you can have someone wide open downfield if you can get the timing right. Long throw in the box, loose. Larson was looking for it, but it gets headed out, and Frazier
brings it back in.
That was a good header right there, angled down towards the ground and deflected off of the defender's boot.
But Mr. Donovan there, number 9, he did pretty well there, getting around those defenders. He tried to get around, but it was just he didn't have enough space. The line was right there.
And the crowd giving Gus Radner some credit there, getting pretty physical in his midfield position. Eric Larson
There's a little shove there. I didn't see it. I didn't get
Yeah.
caught, huh?
It's just, it's turned into a physical game, and I think the refs are fine with just letting him play for now. We'll wait and see if it ends up getting out of hand. Larson gets it kicked away from him, out of bounds, and it will be a throw in for the Hawks in some great territory.
Yeah, this is good.
And, yeah, it will be a throw in.
But you see, the issue is the Tigers' air defense is really good. And honestly, I don't know if this is just me, but the Tigers players look they look bigger than the Red Hawks.
I agree. We were talking about that for JB2. Oh, and it's loose. Pachurik brings it down. Can't get the strike off, and it's cleared out.
That was close. Really
Will
close.
Redding is down next to the goal, stretching his legs out. Looks like he might have gotten a little shaken up on the play.
A little cramp,
and
possibly.
yeah, he's calling. He banged his leg up. He's calling for a sub, and Carter Miller's going to come in.
Miller.
Oh boy.
Little leg cramp maybe.
Yeah. Well, he went down on the play. He might have landed awkwardly on his ankle. It looked like he had gone up to try and head it, possibly helped to bring it down.
Yeah.
And the corner sent past the goal. Tavo there to break up the clear. And now Miller, who was just subbed in, pass over to Radner. Radner with a nice touch, but won't keep it in bounds.
And oh no, it's a Red Hawks throw-in.
Which is why Radner was giving him a bit of attitude when he kicked it away from the Tigers player. Now the Hawks bench stands up. Millette with the throw-in again in the box. And
that was dangerously close.
That was dangerous.
About to go in.
That's the kind of bounce where you don't know, the goalie might have seen some tip that, or any deflection right there.
Yeah.
Could have just put it in one direction or the other and could have put it past the goalie.
Yep.
And Kovacs racing down the field. Say what you might about his, the way he plays. He wants it off of his shoulder, grabs Cachuango, and then kicks the ball against his feet.
Yeah, no, that's crazy because this is why being a goalkeeper can be pretty scary because that ball, as soon as it bounces, it can go anywhere, really.
Oh, absolutely. And, I mean, you could say that about just about any sport that has a goalie.
Yeah.
You see that, I mean, I could talk about that especially with ice hockey, right? You've got, because it's such a big strategy now to just have a guy sitting in front of the net and waiting with his stick up and he, clips the puck even just a little bit and he's so close to the goalie, there's no time for reaction, and he can just send it right past him.
Yep.
And the same thing could be done with soccer. I mean, the offsides rule obviously is different and negates some of that opportunity, but especially on a corner kick, that is a huge opportunity, which is why we saw early in the game Donovan standing in front of the keeper trying to make that play there.
Right.
Bessler sends it over the head of Pachurik, and it's cleared out by number 2, Jackson Keller.
Still 0-0, but the team. I feel like we're getting close. I feel like we're building up to somewhere.
Absolutely,
and teams, yeah.
We're building up with more and more chances by the Hawks. There has been barely any chances, and no call from the ref. The fans of Frontier enrage, and that ball is going to find its way to Kovacs, who stumbles and gets shut down by Frazier. Big stop!
What a defense!
Get that out of here! Come on!
Wow, Frazier over there with a great defense. Oh, and now it looks like one of the Tigers teams.
That's Kovacs.
Yeah. Huh.
And now he's upset. He doesn't know why he's getting talked to. I mean, I'm sure he does.
Ooh.
And, again, physical.
Oh, wow, yes. Look at that. It was like a proper head push there. Wow.
And that ball will be out of bounds.
Like we saw earlier, that was a shirt pull. That should have been, well, in my opinion at least, that would have been a foul and a free kick for the Red Hawks.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you've got to respect the rest because they're looking at every single direction at once.
There's a yellow card being given to Diego Frazier.
Wow.
And this is huge. That is a huge loss for the Hawks. Coming onto the field for Frazier is going to be Grayson Bishop. I mean, that's big. I assume that the call had to do something with some back talking to the ref, some conversation like that. The corner kick for the Tigers will be whistled dead. I don't know what the call was on that.
Yeah, I think they just restarted it after they gave Diego Frazier the yellow card.
That's an odd sequence of events there.
Yeah.
And now Frazier coming back in. And Bishop running back off. Just interesting. Well, now Frazier already been booked once.
And then we got, this is like a little substitution time. Everyone's switching out.
Yeah. Our little moment on the field, a bit of a break. And now, Kovacs, who's gotten now, I think, 2 warnings from the refs. Maybe just 1. I could be misremembering. But he's gotten at least 1 warning from the refs. And, I mean, the Tigers don't want to be down a card here.
Yeah. They don't want to be down a player either because both teams are very aggressive today. Straight into the Tigers.
That's a bunch
team.
of the JV players that are sitting down next to the bench. And David can't quite get the touch he wants.
No.
David's had a great game on offense when he's gotten the opportunity to, but he hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities, Isaac.
Yeah, it's true. Gus running it up. He's fast.
That was a great effort. He kept it in play and then it kicked it into the Tigers defender, and then it went out of bounds. So now Hawks throw in, and they have time to get some guys up the field. Larson with a nice move, dancing on the sideline, works his way back, and a centering pass. He was looking for Carter Miller, but he wasn't there, and that's going to get by Cachuongo. Rare mistake. Bestler's there to cover him, and he sends it to the other side of the field.
Sending it out, which sometimes is a nice, safe play to do.
Absolutely.
Just to slow things down, but
yeah, you got to do what you got to do. And Cachuongo does the same thing. Will go out of bounds and throw in again for the Tigers around midfield. Punch forward by the Red Hawks. Donovan warming up on the sideline is Henry Pleasant, who almost had a goal before. Nice touch from Carter Miller. He's going to center it to Ian Pachurik, who's right outside the box. Won't keep the ball. Millette in a scuffle, broken up by Gus Radner. And now the Hawks having to race back. Maybe an opportunity for the Tigers running along the sideline, number 15.
Let's see how it's going to work. Oh, and something was called by the refs. I believe it just went out of bounds, maybe.
It might have, yeah.
Out of bounds. Just by a bit, though. That was fast, whoever number 15 was there.
That was Brady Graham for the Tigers.
Yes. He was going fast. He was locked on.
And now Henry Pleasant has come on the field for the Hawks. Donovan taking a break. He's been out for a long time. Down goes Radner in a bit of a struggle, and the whistle goes Frontier's way.
That's a little foul there.
Millette sets up the kick. The drive down the field is headed up, and Radner goes airborne. And the foul's called on him. He's going to stand right in front of the free kick. The striker's out for the Hawks right now. Pachurik and Pleasant. Pachurik just got drilled.
Into the rib.
Yeah. But the Tigers move it up the field. That could have been an opportunity for him to move it the other way. Now the strike.
Great kick, but amazing save.
Wonderful
was scary.
stand. I mean, it was right at him, but that can be some of the scariest things. It's coming right at you. Any, micro adjustments you have to do.
Yeah.
Great stand from Jack Cusson.
That was a strong kick, a great shot on top.
Oh, and a wonderful challenge.
And what did the refs call? It's going to be, to the
that was out on the Red Hawks, but a beautiful challenge from Gus Radner. Wonderfully timed, too. Cachuongo puts his body in the way, and an incredible defensive play. I think that nicked the ref a little bit as it went out, but a good... that was a good reaction. He moved fast.
The Tigers have really turned the tables here. I think it's more in favor of them now.
Yeah, they've had plenty of offensive opportunities, just got a shot on target, and now the Hawks really pressured to turn things around.
Yeah.
Still no score in this game. Pachurik trying to make something happen. He's going to pass it forward. He was looking for the through pass to Vincent Warner. He's not going to get it, though, and now turned around is Carlos David. He gets tripped, and it will be a free kick for the Tigers. See, that's a good call there.
That was a good call. He did fall on the floor. Yeah, that was good.
Despite the card against Frazier, I think I stand by what I said before. I think the refs have done a great job managing this game, keeping the players' emotions in check. Kovacs still on the bench, and he obviously, I think he might end up coming out towards the end to just put a little bit of extra passion on the field for the Tigers, but we'll wait and see. Tigers have to move the ball back about half a foot. I wonder why.
Oh, the referees are still talking.
I'm not really sure what they're discussing. And now they say to go on. Floated in. Cussin right to him.
Great catch.
Stood his ground.
Yeah, Cussin is doing a great job in goal. Despite the fact he's a freshman.
Yeah.
And, he's doing amazing.
And it's chucked forward all the way to Miller.
Oh,
who does a great move.
Great. That's the magician you want to see. That's what every team is a magician. And
Cachuongo misses the header. Brady Graham on the near side. Oh, and punched out by Cachuongo.
That's why he's the captain.
Ice in his veins. Look at that. Just the one-on-one. Doesn't even blink twice. Centering pass outside of the box is broken up by Millette. Millette tries to clear it out to the Tigers. And now it will be moved back to offense, but it can't be brought down. We'll go out of bounds on Ari Alatolo. Now Grayson Bishop coming in, and in comes Kovacs as well. We have 24 minutes, give or take some, on
It's going to be a very close game.
Oh, 100%. I'm thinking difference of only 1 or 2 goals, really.
Yeah.
We could see 2 quick goals from either team right now.
Or it could be a draw. It could be the Frontier's first drawing game.
Yeah, and that would make it South Hadley's second. But now, maybe an opportunity here. Eric Larson spins around, creates some room for himself, sends it forward.
Go!
And it's Let's go! The fans go wild! What a shot!
Amazing shot! That's the goal we were talking about. There it is. The Frontier fans are blessed to see this happening. The Red Hawks team there, great group huddle. Exactly what the Red Hawks needs, and this could be it. This could be it, Mason, right here.
And the Tigers are stunned. Unassisted, pretty much. He made that himself.
That was
cutback,
him.
separation, and it just sent it. I mean, there was barely, goalie in position, and it just snuck underneath him. He just put so much power behind that ball. My God. And now this is down 1-0. This is where you see the tensions really start to happen. It's not even tension anymore. It's desperation. We got to find something. We've got 23.5 minutes to make something happen, and it's got to happen fast.
And you already know the Tigers going to be playing very aggressive right now.
Tigers are under pressure now, and it's going to start showing on the field. And a long pass forward. Kovacs barely gets there, and Cussin is down. Open goal. And the shot is blocked. Diego Frazier, what a save.
What a save.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. That was incredible.
You see, they're going crazy right now. They need to get this goal in, otherwise that's it. And Frontier was so close to letting that in. So close. But this is the chemistry we need, as you can see, Mason. The chemistry is amazing. They just help each other out. And and the Tigers, they're desperate. Desperate for this opportunity.
There's so much energy on the field. It was almost reclined before compared to this. This is just so much. Like we said, desperation for the Tigers, and now the Hawks. They're still playing to get a goal. Obviously, you always are, but you're in the lead, and that means that's so much of a difference. It really is, especially with time winding down like this. Long throw in from Millette into the box. Opening, Carter Miller, and he sends it in. And it's over. It looked like it might have dropped in.
That would have been amazing for Carter Miller. That would have been his first goal.
Beautiful.
This is his first year on the team, and if he made that, he could have been a star for the Red Hawks. That was so close. That
would have been a beautiful chip shot, too. Just sent right over the goalie's fingertips. But now a short pass from the goal kick is cornering the Tigers right now. Ian Pachurik putting the pressure on, gets beat, and now it's intercepted. Eric Larson puts his magic to the work again. Cut back. Larson looking for a centering pass and almost found.
There you go.
He almost found Henry Pleasant there, who almost scored a goal earlier.
You can see that the Tigers, their defense, they're really locking on to Mr. Larson over here. It's something you see a lot happen in soccer too. As soon as one person makes a goal, they're locked on to them.
Absolutely.
That's the threat right there.
You don't want that to happen again, because he's figured something out, is what they're thinking. And there he is right in the middle. A beautiful pass from Millette, and he sends it a little bit too far. But you see, it's not even, they're missing the shots. It doesn't even matter. They're up a goal, and they have the lead. That's what matters.
Exactly.
And they're keeping the ball in the Tigers' end. The desperation and anxiety is growing on the bench, in the coach's head, and on the players in the field for South Hadley.
We've got some substitutions going on. Number 19 coming on.
Number 19
it's not coming
for
on just yet, but
South Hadley. Yeah, waiting in the wings is Ben Gillis. Matt Gillis, we assume his brother, is out on the field right now. He had that great run in the first half, first few moments of the game, and he was able to create one of the first good chances for the Tigers. But, of course, none of the chances have been very successful. And now Ben Gillis comes in for number 13.
And we have Sam Bakari coming on the team. Sam Sosa coming on. I've been looking at him during the training. He's been doing amazing, representing number 10.
Off, that's Ian Pachurik, who's going to be taking a seat on the bench, getting some rest, likely to come back on in the last few minutes, as we saw in the first half. You know, a little bit of some of your players that haven't gotten a chance to play, you now have an opportunity right here. And pressure on the goalie of South Hadley.
Sam is quick.
Bakari gets knocked down, but that is way out of bounds.
Yeah, wow.
He just checked in on the field and a little bit disoriented, I guess.
Yeah. Bakari, he is fast. He locked on straight to that defender over there.
Yeah, and Carolon, almost with a huge misstep, held on to the ball for way too long.
Yeah.
And not picking it up either. Millette with another big throw-in, trying to find Bakari in the box. And Frazier sent it to the right. Definitely not where he wanted it to go.
No. I think front needs to slow down a little bit. Again, might be getting a little too ahead of themselves. Don't get me wrong, I would too. They just scored.
Absolutely.
They're in the lead. They're happy. They're excited. They need to, they want to get more goals in for their safety, obviously.
Absolutely.
But
it's that anxious. Again, both sides anxious. Anxious to score a goal for the Tigers and anxious for this game to end, for that time on the clock to run out, is what Frontier is feeling right now. And so the more time that they can have the ball at their feet, the more they're going to feel comfortable.
The safer they are going to be.
Exactly. And a nice pass forward from, I believe that might have been Bishop. Yes, it was Bishop.
Ooh.
And now sent back to Cusson, who picks it up.
Just on the edge of the box as well.
And Kovacs right on top of him once again. He's certainly a threat, even though he's been shut down several times by both Cachuango and Frazier. It's just his speed. He wants the ball. He wants that goal, and it shows. And there he goes again. Oh, and he misses it.
Just missing it.
Almost had a great opportunity. Now Frazier with a big clear. Pleasant racing to get the ball. Battling against Adams. And now the Tigers send it back to midfield. The cross is going to go right to Carter Miller, who deflects it over to Cachuango, sends it up to Gus Radner. Radner, and now the middle of the field, it's Eric Larson, who scored the goal just a few minutes ago to give the lead to the Hawks. Radner takes a check and another, and
it was out.
No,
it was a foul.
Foul called on Gus Radner.
I could see that. He did have like a little nudge whilst he was.
I think I saw a bit of a grab of the arm too.
Yeah.
But again, like those, you think that it's tough to make calls in a football game when there's so many people pushing and shoving that close to each other. Yeah. It's hard when they're moving this fast.
Ooh.
And Radner, what an effort!
And the refs are not calling that out.
No.
Huh. Well, that might have been an accident. I'm not sure.
I'd say that great play from Radner. He just stretched his body out to clear the ball.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any kind of significant contact with the Tigers player. Obviously, the Tigers player felt different. That's Jack Shagnon, who I believe is one of the captains. He felt differently about that and might have said a few words about Radner, as Radner motioned to one of the refs and seemed to be asking for some call against him. But now, 16:30 on the clock. Big corner kick opportunity.
This is what the Tigers need, but they just can't get through the defense.
Bessler knocks it down, and it's deflected, cleared out. Henry Pleasant is torn down.
That was a push.
And that was a very clear push
from
the man right off the bench.
To the Red Hawks.
Yeah.
That was a proper shove. He went straight into the ground.
Now, I'd say if we see one or two more of those, whoever it ends up being committed by might get a yellow card on the Tigers. We've seen plenty of physicality, and that's all right. But when it gets to be this kind of desperate physicality, it can become way too much really quickly.
Yeah.
In the corner, and it will be let out of bounds by the Tigers. Smart play, and several subs coming in. For the Hawks, it's Tavo, Vincent Warner, and Will Redding. Grayson Bishop and Carter Miller coming off.
I'm interested to see how this works now.
Yeah.
This is deep into the Tigers' territory. Frontier's really here, but they're going to push it back out.
And
I couldn't see if that was off by.
That'll be called for the Tigers. They got another throw-in. Cachuongo
just missed. You could hear it off his boot. It just graced it.
Barely nicked it. And Larson gets tripped up, but gets the pass off to Millette, who sends it forward. Rides up the body of David. And Millette finds Vincent Warner on the far side. Vincent Warner loses the ball out of bounds. And now throw in for the Tigers. They'll have to throw it in again. Oh, there's a sub coming in. That's the call. 14.5 to go. Time running out for the Tigers. Bakari putting plenty of pressure up there. Two strikers out there for the Hawks, Isaac, who were not out there at the start of the game. Two non-starters.
And I think they're doing pretty well.
They're doing wonderfully. I mean, they haven't had any clear chances specifically for them where they could, find each other or, take a shot on goal. But they've been putting pressure on plenty.
Oh, they have.
And now maybe an opportunity for the Tigers, but Cussin is right there.
Caught it just within the box. Not maybe an inch or so outside, and that'll be it. He won't be able to catch it, use his hands.
Oh. And Larson slips, but recovers quickly and passes forward to Will Redding, who will catch it right before it goes out of bounds. Redding tracks it backwards. Larson
bringing
up
it
the field, looking for Tavo, and a little bit too far. Didn't quite get the angle right on the pass.
A little too deep into their territory.
Yeah. And the Tigers are just watching the clock right now, Isaac.
Yeah, they're nervous.
Very nervous. Every second that passes is more nerves, just more and more anxiety. And a great header there from number 9 of the Tigers. Now maybe a chance. Can't get the through pass off because of Bessler, and Cachuongo clears it out.
This is the thing. When that timer is slowly ticking down, you start doing things that can be reckless as well, and that can put your team into even more danger. So, but at the same time, it can work. It's just scary to do so. So they have to be very careful here if they want a chance to beat the Red Hawks tonight.
And Henry Pleasant putting some pressure on the Tigers while they're in their own half, or in the Red Hawks half, rather. Tavo with a nice deflection. The pass goes wide. Nice touch from the Tigers. That was impressive. But now Frazier will clear it out of bounds. A smart play there helps the Hawks reset. And now, like you were saying, you make plays that are reckless, and you make decisions that are reckless, and you get in your head and you start getting upset at yourself. Why can't I do this? Why can't I just make the right move? And Cussin, another great save. It's not even he's doing anything crazy acrobatic. It's just he's playing it smart. He's playing it safe. He's not letting get the ball in any way that they might be able to put it past him. Pleasant touches it forward, hoping for Bakari, but he won't be there. Now Millette up to Vincent Warner. Pleasant won't get there in time. But as I was saying, you get in your head, you start, picking away at yourself, getting upset at yourself, and that fuels those reckless decisions. And eventually, getting called for a card. That's why so many of the cards that you see in soccer are in those last few minutes because they're putting everything out there, especially because it's, you can see games like this all the time. It's so close, 1 score difference.
Yeah.
And anything can happen. You could tie it up. And a tie versus a loss is a big difference. It's a huge difference.
It is. You'd rather much tie than lose because that's way worse than your record. And it's going to be out. It's going to be, I think,
Hawks ball.
Hawks.
Yeah.
See, the Hawks are playing it safe here. They're not aggressively rushing. They're trying to keep the ball on their team. Yeah. Just as long as they have it with them, that's all they need.
And like you were saying, playing it slow.
And the crowd is excited that Gus is coming back onto the pitch.
And we also got our starting strikers out there, Donovan and Pachurik, ready for action. Donovan can't quite lay down the header, and that'll be out on the Tigers again. Good call from the refs. Sent down the field, and Pachurik won't get there.
Ooh, yeah, I was going to say, that looked out to me.
And it's a white throw. Close call. I mean, there was a lot of, they were dancing around each other, yeah. And Larson, what a beautiful touch. Popped up and brought down.
They're playing it very close to the edge lines here. They're really, but I guess that's something smart. So you pressure the opponent to go right as close as you can to that line. And, yeah, hopefully they slip up.
Yeah. And Radner gets taken down. Whistle blown. Free kick for the Hawks in what might be one of the best places you can imagine.
Yeah, and this could be it. If Frontier makes this in, then you know the Tigers, they got the chance slims.
By a lot.
By a lot indeed, because we have, 9 minutes on the clock now.
Just under 10 minutes to go on the clock. Larson, who scored the goal earlier, takes the kick, sends it right towards the net, and it's grabbed by Carolon.
Massive relief for the Tigers there, you can already tell. That was close.
Booted down the field, and that's got to be a card. Yeah, motioning him over. Just about punched Larson in the small of his back, and he can be as astonished as he wants. It's not going to help his case. He's going to have to take a seat for a minute or two. And here come the cheers from
the Red Hawks fans, the fan base, the nest. Who was that, number 15?
Number 15, that was Brady Graham, who had so many great chances earlier in the game.
He was doing well.
And now he's got a few words for the Hawks fans, but now Kovacs running down the field and takes down Bestler.
Yes,
he gets the game. Called for a foul, And if he does one more thing, he's ought to be carded too. That's his second warning from the refs.
Surprised he hasn't got a yellow card yet.
Yeah, I thought that would have done it. That was pretty blatant.
That was rough.
Yeah, but now Graham had a few words to say to some of the Hawks fans who just simply pointed at the scoreboard. Header not there for Donovan. It was a little bit too far. Millette intercepts the clear. And now goes past him, up to Kovacs, who misses the touch.
Kachagana bringing that up, and it's just out by TJ Donovan, but he couldn't do much there. It was right on the line. Yeah, and see, we were talking about this earlier. Time shortens, the teams get reckless.
Absolutely.
And what happened here? The team, someone from the Tigers got the yellow card for being reckless.
Yeah.
There you go.
And getting angry at himself, taking it out on another player, and that's just what leads to a team, falling apart. Not to say they don't have a chance to tie this, because they do.
They do. They're playing amazingly, though. Like from the start of the second half, we saw them, the Tigers, really going well.
Yeah.
Really wanting
and it's been downhill for them. It really has. And a throw-in is going to be from the far sideline. Bestler heads it out. Larson, oh my goodness, what a beautiful touch. That was brilliant. And now sent way down the field. Pachurik racing for it, and it goes out of bounds. What a great opportunity that could have been. He had Donovan on the far side, who was just about to be even with him. Could have passed back. And I mean, that cross, that's exactly what you want. That's prime goal-scoring opportunity right there, Isaac.
Pachurik on the wing, really setting it down. You saw them, they were ready for it to happen.
Absolutely.
They were set up, they know what they're doing, which is very great to see. It just shows chemistry as well. They're working together to get this.
Oh, Donovan, that was a beautifully placed ball.
That was.
There's nothing else you can say about it.
Was good.
It was a great defensive read. He was right where he needed to be to deflect the ball out, but that was exactly where you wanted to put the ball.
Yep.
You know, great play on both sides of the ball in that instance, and now it's going to end up with 6:30 on the clock. Hawks thrown once again, taken by Max Millette. Number 9 ready to come in, Matt Gillis for the Tigers. Had a few opportunities in that first half that we talked about before. Redding heads it up and towards the goal. Popped back up. It's still in play. Brought down. Redding. Chip I don't know how the Tigers going to recover from this. Will Redding puts it to bed.
Look at that. Will Redding, number 7, representing Cristiano Ronaldo, number 7 there. This is what the Frontier team needs. This is what the Red Hawks need.
Frontier goal scored by Will Redding.
There it is. There it is.
And
I don't know how the
cheers,
Tigers going to do now. Approaching 5 minutes on the clock now.
They're not going to be able to do much, Isaac. I can tell you that.
It's close.
One goal. That's feasible in this amount of time. You got to make a lot of the right choices consistently, and so much. And that's going to be a handball called on Kachawongo.
Yeah.
Odd bounce on the ball, I guess, would be his excuse for that. But Redding now standing in front of the bench, a well-deserved rest.
Earlier he came off from an injury, remember?
Yeah.
And look at that.
I mean, talk about a comeback.
Yeah.
I think that's only red out on the field right there. And Kovacs is complaining to the ref about where the wall is set up.
The ref's going to go have a look at it now.
Or move the ball back.
This could be dangerous.
It certainly could be dangerous.
Frontier
Ref
fans
taking
going
the
crazy.
steps. And the wall's going to get moved back a little bit. Kovacs' petition is answered. We've got 21, who's thankfully picked up by Donovan. Sent towards the goal and way over. David.
Too much power.
Yeah.
Nice curve there. You saw that curve that
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
Is great control of it. It's just too much power. He got too much under it.
Yeah.
You know?
Just too much. And I think he's under pressure as well. I mean, 5 minutes on the clock.
And they might actually, they might stop it at 5 now. I think that might be what happens. Yeah, clock isn't moving. So we got 5 minutes or so left. We're going to be going on for a little while without us being we're not going to be able to tell you how much time is left in the game for a little while now. And it's going to seem like it's going on forever, especially if you're a Hawks fan, like holding on. But now the Hawks have a few more defensive players out there. Defensive midfielders who are helping, balance the team out. You don't need to score a goal right now. You're happy with the 2. Just they can let up a goal and still win. Obviously they don't want to, but they have that insurance and they're playing it extra safe with some defensive midfielders
just
right
now.
Just
be safe. No need to try anything crazy, but
sure,
we might just try.
And that's going to be a corner.
And I am loving the atmosphere here right now at the Red Hawk Stadium. Everyone here is getting crazy about this. Everyone's cheering the team on. This is what we love to see.
Absolutely.
This is amazing.
This is energy that we saw at the football game.
That's
start of the football game, I'd say. Maybe last half wasn't as excited. But it's some great energy, and it's so awesome to see these people getting as excited for soccer as they are for football.
Yeah.
And now Larson, trying to push the ball forward, will stay in bounds. It looked like they were waiting for it to roll out. Carlos David with a nice move across midfield, and he takes it away from Larson. Sent forward, Kovacs racing for it, and it's picked up.
Just in the box. See, he is very close to leaving that box. That is dangerous, because if that's out, that's a
Jack Cusson is playing this game beautifully.
He's doing great. I think he deserves the spot on the Red Hawks varsity team. He's doing amazing.
Oh, 100%. He earned it a few times on JV last year. He did a phenomenal job. And now Gus Radner might have an opportunity. He passes it forward. Deflected out to the near side. Carter Miller calms it down, tries to move it into the box, and it's sent out of bounds.
It is close. Frontier, they want another one. They want it, as many as they can get. It is going close. It is getting very, very close.
Yeah, I'd say we have a few more minutes, and then the whistle could be blown just at any point in time. Millette, big throw in again. Opening in the goal, and it went out of bounds.
Just only if there was a player right there. That could have been the third one for the Frontier team.
And an easy tap in, too. Yeah. And this is a good call from the South Hadley coach. Kovac's coming off. He's had his tempers flaring since the end of the first half.
Yeah.
And he was liable to get booked, honestly.
Yeah.
And, you know, despite his effort on the field, it's just been fueled a lot by his rivalry with some of the defenders, and that can be dangerous in these last few moments.
Yeah, and Sam Bakari coming back onto the pitch now, replacing who looks like
Ian Patricia.
Ian with an injury.
Looks like it might just be some kind of cramp.
Yeah.
Pushing yourself for that long, I mean, it does a lot to you. Yeah, he's holding the back of his thigh right there. Just going to need to give himself some rest. Hopefully that's all it is. And Bessler again, just with ease, stretching above everyone else.
Yeah.
But now Carlos David seems to be the only guy that has figured out how to move through the Hawks midfield. Is shut down once again by about 3 different defenders.
Yeah, you can see here the Tigers at the defense. They're really on that defense now. They do not want to let another goal come in. Frontier fans cheering on
and that's the game. There we go.
That's the game.
I would have thought it would have gone on for a little bit longer than that, but maybe I just don't have a great sense of time.
Same.
Hawks pull off their 4th win. They remain undefeated against the team that probably had the best chance of taking the conference title from them. It looks like they are going to have another great year. Last year, for a little reminder, the Hawks ended their regular season 16 wins and only 2 losses. Those 2 losses, one of the losses, if I remember right, was to Hampshire. And that game is coming up a little bit later in the year, but it'll be a home game, hopefully under the lights just like this, and it's going to be a good one, Isaac.
Yeah.
Hampshire is the team that Frontier lost to in overtime in the Western Mass Finals last year. Tom and I covered that game, and it was, I could talk for hours about that game.
Yeah.
It was just something really special, and hopefully we can see something like this. But Eric Larson with the first goal for the Hawks, and then the eventual game winner, Will Redding.
Number 17 and number 7. Look at that.
A wonderful effort from the Hawks, and they will continue their winning streak in the season with a 2-0 win over the South Hadley Tigers.
Final score 2-0. Frontier team, look at them go. And look at the fans, the Red Hawks fans going crazy. They're very happy for the team. Sense of pride right now. It was a great game. And the Tigers is pretty good too.
Red Hawk gets onto the field, gives TJ Donovan a big hug. And Gus Radner getting plenty of love from his DA friends. For the last time, 2-0 is the score. Hawks on top. I've been Mason Smith.
Isaac Wormgore over here.
Amalia Smith on camera, Tom Albert on the laptop, Kevin Murphy and Connor Mabius also working with FCAT tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We hope you have a wonderful night. You've been watching Frontier Community Access Television.